Today we're gonna do this pinyin summary. Now we had already finished the 5 class, which is 1/3 of HSK1. And the most basic rule of pinyin actually is all being listed here. So we had almost finished all the rules of pinyin. And today we are going to summarize it, do a brief review and summarize. 拼音总结, summary and review. First, Chinese language system. I need you to write out all this blank here, and each short stroke means you need to put one alphabet here. And for these, you need to put one character on each stroke. So what we are learning here is Chinese language, right? Chinese language is called 汉语, 汉语. And the Chinese language can be divided into 2 parts. The first part is the sound system, and the second part is the character system. Sound system is called 拼音, 拼音, and the character system is called 汉字, 汉字. Today, we are going to focus on 拼音. So, 汉字 is not our key point today. And the pinyin can be divided into 3 parts: initials, finals, and tones. Initials is called 声母, 声母. Finals is called 韵母, 韵母. The third part of pinyin is called 声调, 声调. 声调, we have 4 tones, right? 4 tones, which is called first tone, second tone, third tone, and fourth tone. 一声, 二声, 三声, 四声, and a neutral tone. Okay, let's go through it more specifically. First, 拼音. In total, we have 21 声母 and 36 韵母, which is all being listed here. So, thousands or millions of Chinese sounds and characters are all being consisted of these 21 initials and 36 finals. This red part is called, it is 声母 or 韵母, this red part. Yes, the red part is 声母, initials, which all the syllables start with 声母.
Initials 1. 波 坡 摸 fu 的 te 呢 了歌科呵鸡七西。
声母2
Initials 2 知吃诗日滋呲丝。
These are initials, 声母. The red part is called 声母 initials, and the syllables start with 声母 and end with 韵母. So this black part is called 韵母.
「韵母1
Finals 1一乌吁啊呀哇哦窝耶约哀歪a 微凹腰。
韵母2
Finals 2欧优安焉弯渊恩阴温晕昂央汪应翁庸。
Besides 声母 and 韵母, here we have a mark on the head of these alphabets, right? This mark is called 声调. There are 4 basic tones in Chinese. Different tone makes different in meaning. For example, 妈 means mother using the 一声 first tone. 麻 means fibrous crops using the second tone 二声. 马 means horse using the third tone. 骂 means to scold using the fourth tone 四声.
啊啊啊啊哦哦哦哦鹅鹅鹅一乙乙乙乌无五物鱼鱼雨玉。
Apart from the 4 tones, we have a neutral tone. This neutral tone sounds short and light. which is this one I marked in red. Neutral tone means there's no tone mark on the head of the pinyin, on the head of the syllable. For example, let's compare these two syllable with or without tone. The first one is using the first tone, right? Ma, ma. Well, the second syllable is using the neutral tone. So there's no tone mark on the head of a, and it sounds like ma, ma. Short and light, and and soft. Together, this word sounds like mama. Mama. Mama means mom. 爷爷. 爷爷. 爷爷 means grandpa. 奶奶. 奶奶. 奶奶 means grandma. 爸爸. 爸爸. 爸爸 means father.
桌子、房子、椅子、柜子、他们、人们、我们、弟弟、衣服、儿子、喜欢、认识、先生、朋友、晚上、漂亮。
The fourth point is this retroflex final. Retroflex final is not the tone or the change of tone, or can be combined with a syllable before it, forming a retroflex syllable, which is written as character plus and spelled as syllable plus in pinyin. So these words originally sounds like 小孩、小鸟、饭馆、香水儿, but we need to use this retroflex final, right? So how should we pronounce it? 小孩儿、小鸟、饭馆儿、香水儿. And then let's compare it one by one. 小孩、小孩儿、小鸟、小鸟、饭馆、饭馆儿、香水、香水儿. The fifth point is the tone Sandhi. We have learned only two tone Sandhi, and the first one is the tone Sandhi of 不. Tone Sandhi means when this syllable is using in a word, and it is formed by the specific tone. For example, when 不, this character, the originally sound of 不 is like this in its fourth tone. When 不 is followed by a syllable in the first, second, and third tone, its tone doesn't change. But when 不 is followed by a syllable in the fourth tone, we change its tone into the second tone.
一、
one 不吃不行不好不喝不能不想
二、
two 不会不会 不是，不看。
The second tone Sandhi is E. E is a little more complicated than bu, because when E follows the different tone, it changes into different tone. At first, let's take a look at the third point. When E used alone or in a number, its tone doesn't change. The originally sound of E is the first tone. So only when it is being used alone or in a number, we use its first tone. When E is followed by a syllable in the first, second, or third tone, it changes into the fourth tone. For example, the original sound of the first word should be 一张, right? 一张, while the second character is using the first tone, so this word should be 一张, 一张. The same rule for the second tone and the third tone syllable that following it. And when E followed by a syllable in the fourth tone, it changes into the second tone. For example, 定. This 定 is using the fourth tone, right? So the first one changes into the second tone. 一定, 一定.
One. 一张，一条，一种。
2.
Two. 一定，一块。
3.
Three. 第一，一二三。星期一。11%。
That's all for the basic elements of the Chinese sound system, Pinyin. Now let's move to the differentiation of similar Pinyin. Because some sound is not existed in your country's sound system. So when you are hearing it, you cannot tell the difference. Sometimes, for example, 波 and 坡. When I'm pronouncing it, I know the difference between it definitely because I'm a Chinese, and I hear others pronouncing it day by day so that I can tell the difference. But this two different sounds is not existed in Nepali language. So some of you, even when you're listening to me pronouncing it, you cannot tell the difference, so that you cannot pronounce it out right? So this differentiation is telling you which part you need to use when we are pronouncing it, and helping you to pronounce it in the right way. First one is the Sheng, 鸡七夕. This group of Sheng initial are known as coronals. So the surface of the tongue touches the hard palate when pronouncing 鸡 and 七. Well, 七, the second one, you can see here some arrow here because this arrow means the airflow. And the qi has 3 arrow, means it has a strong airflow, while ji doesn't. No arrow here, so not a single air comes out of your mouth when you're pronouncing it. When xi is pronounced, the surface of the tongue approaches the hard palate without reaching it, leaving a gap in between, and a weak airflow comes out. This group, 鸡, qi, xi, are cardinal sounds. The working part in your mouth is the tongue surface and hard palate. 鸡 and qi, these two parts touch each other, while when we are pronouncing xi, these two parts doesn't touch each other. They approach to each other, but never touch. Airflow qi is the most strongest, and then xi has almost no airflow.
休息，积极，机器，小区，星期，香蕉，兴趣，继续。
Group is Sheng, zi, ci, si. These group are dental sound. When we are pronouncing zi and ci, the front part of the tongue tip touches the inner surface here of the upper teeth and then immediately parts with it, forming a gap in between. Zi is pronounced with no strong airflow, while ci has strong airflow. Si, the front part of the tongue tip, stays away from the inner surface of the upper teeth all along, leaving a gap for the airflow to get through. Zi, ci, si are dental sound. Working part is tongue tip and inner upper teeth. Both zi and ci, these two parts touch and apart quickly, while si, these two parts doesn't touch each other. Ci has strong airflow, and then zi almost has no airflow.
洗澡，打扫，3次，自己，昨天，早上，操场，汉字。
Third group is 韵母 final, i, u, yu. Both u and yu are pronounced with round lips. When saying yu, this last one, the tongue is in a front position with the tip pressing the inner surface of the lower teeth. And u, the tongue is in a back position with the gap staying away from the inner surface of the lower teeth. And the tongue should be held backwards to pronounce the sound right, like this. You see this means tongue, and you stay backward. Here left a space in the front of your dental. I, u, yu. When we are pronouncing this group, your lip position should be u and yu are round lip, while I, your lip can relax. Tongue position, I and yu, the tongue is in the front, while u, your tongue held back. The working part is tongue tip and inner lower teeth. I, your tongue tip, press the lower teeth. U, the tip stay away from the lower teeth, and the yu, tip press the lower teeth. 3 of its airflow is almost the same. Not strong, not weak, just normal airflow. Number 4, 韵母 begin with i, u, yu. We just tell the difference between i, u, yu, right? While 韵母, some of the 韵母 is the combination of more than one syllable. And this point 4, we are gonna tell the difference between those 韵母 start with i, u, yu. So the first group is this 韵母 with or without i.
a, ya, ye, ao, yao, o, u, an, yen, ang, yang, ong, uong.
The second group is these 韵母 with or without u.
a, wa, I, y, a, we, an, wan, en, wen, ang, wang, eng, ueng.
And the last group of point 4, the 韵母 that with or without yu.
Yue, an, yuan, en, yun.
Point number 5, 声母 zhi, chi, shi, ri. These group are a series of coguminoes which are pronounced with the tongue tip turned up and coordinating with the front part of the hard palate. When we are speaking zhi and chi, the tongue tip first touches the hard palate and then opens a gap to let the air flow. Chi, the second one, with the most strong airflow, while zhi is the opposite. It almost have no airflow. Shi and ri have the normal airflow, and when we are saying shi, the tongue tip doesn't touch the hard palate, leaving a gap all alone. Ri is pronounced with the vocal cords vibrating. Coguminal sound group, and the working part is your tongue tip and front hard palate. Zhi and chi, these two parts touch and leave quickly, while shi and ri, these two parts doesn't touch each other. Chi has the strongest airflow, and then shi and ri, zhi has almost no airflow.
知识，厨师，生日，上车，认识，常识，事实，超人，燃烧，热闹。 出差，长城，手术，商场，超市，充值。
Point number 6. The nasal sound. N and ong. When we are saying the alveolar nasal N, the tongue tip should press the upper alveolar ridge, which is the red part here. When saying the velar nasal ong, the back part of the tongue forms an arc, and the root of the tongue moves back and press the soft palate. Compare with N, which is pronounced with the upper and lower teeth close to each other. Ong is pronounced with the mouth more wide open. Both of it are nasal sound. And the working part is our tongue tip and the upper alveolar, while ong is the back tongue and soft palate. When we are speaking ong, the mouth open more wider, and the airflow is almost the same. And please notice N and ong, these are the sound. It's not the exact alphabet, but it's just the sound. Which N is this one, N, ong is ong here, but it doesn't exist singly. It comes in the compound 韵母. Those 韵母that combined by N and another alphabet, that those 韵母combined by N and other alphabet.
安，昂，烟，央，弯，汪，恩，嗯，阴，应，温，翁。
Point number 7. Aspirated initials and unaspirated initials, which means in this group, compared these two alphabet, one has a strong airflow comes out of our mouth and one doesn't. For example, the first group, 波 and 坡. The first 波 is unaspirated, so no air comes out of our mouth. While we are speaking 坡, a strong airflow comes out of our mouth. When we are practicing it, we can put a soft tissue before our mouth. And when we are speaking the unaspirated sound, which is the first one in each group, the tissue shouldn't move. While when we are pronouncing the second one, the tissue need to be blown up. These 6 in the first line, no airflow, and these 6 in the second line, strong airflow. Okay?
波，坡，的，特，哥，科，鸡，七，滋，呲，知，吃，棒，胖，肚，兔，狗，口，鸡，七，字，刺，桌，车。
Let's move to the last part, the rules of pinyin. The first rule is the tone marking. Tone marks in Chinese pinyin are put above vowels. When there are two or more vowels in the final word syllable, the tone should be marked on the one that is pronounced with the mouth more wide open. The sequence being a, o, i, u, yu in the descending order. So a, your mouth is the most wide open one, and yu is the less mouth wide open one. The compound final, u is an exception to this rule. Only exception 1 in this rule. Why? Because u is the abbreviation of this first one, which I crossed off. And if we put the tone on its original form, we need to put on the head of u, right? Because this first syllable with 3 alphabet that follows this normal rule, which we need to mark the tone on the most mouth wide open valve, which is wo here. But when we are using this syllable, we don't use the first one, we use the second one. So wo gives its tone to u. And that's why we need to put the tone mark above the head of u. For example, when this syllable is being used in the pinyin, like qiu, 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 first, second, or third tone, no matter which tone it is using, it needs to be marked on the head of u instead of i. And we do have a dodge. When I'm learning it, when I'm a little kid, my teacher taught me that 一乌并列标在后. That means when these two alphabet comes together, 一 and 乌 comes together, the tone is always being marked on the one that behind. For example, 秋 is 七一乌, right? 乌 is in the behind, so the tone is marked on the head of 乌. 龟 is 歌 乌 一. U come first and E is the one in behind. So the tone is being marked on the head of E. While we are practicing it, please check the order here. The tone is always being on the head of the one with more mouth wide open.
学校，帮忙，篮球，女儿，游泳，手表，终于，公司，时间，身体，考试，国家，报纸，好吃，谢谢，客气。
Second rule is the abbreviation. We just came through U. In all these syllables, we only have 3 abbreviations, which is U, we, and wen. The original form is the formal one that I cross off. The sound comes from its original one, but when we are using it, we never use this form. We use this one in the quote.
休息，睡觉，轮船，牛奶，啤酒，昂贵，留言，开会，讨论，足球，伦敦，湿润，惭愧，水果，陶醉，顺利。
Point number 3. 鸡七西了呢 plus yu. This yu is the most special alphabet in Chinese. And when we are using it, we also have some special change. When yu were a final beginning with yu, which means yu, and this yue, yuan, yun are the finals beginning with yu, follows ji, qi, xi. The two dowels and the top of yu should be removed, like this.
Yu, yue, yuan, yun,居, jue, juan,君,区,缺,圈, qiun, xu, xue, xuan, xun.
And when yu were a final beginning with yu follows l or n, the form is like this. Like this four I listed here. And this four, literally it can form the sound, right? Just simply put them together, but it refers to no character, so no use of it. And also, the rest of the Shengmu doesn't spell with these four. Yu were a final beginning with yu. It form no character. So we only need to remember this. Right? Yu, yue, lü, lue, nü, nü. Some of this I'm not using the first tone when we are practicing the sound. That's because it doesn't exist actually. Only a few sounds refer to the character. Point number 4, Y and W, which sounds like E and U in Pinyin system. If a final beginning with E, U, or U has no initial before it, Y or W is used in the written form. Only in the written form. That means in the sound form, in the sound system, it doesn't change. So 游泳 changes into 游泳。音乐危险晚宴。We can tell from this 4 example that it doesn't simply follows the rule adding Y and W before it. For example, this one, this 危险, here is U, while here is and this 晚宴. We have U here, but then there's no U. We change U into W. So let's move further. Each of yi, u, yu, when we are using the different compound yunmu here, the change is a little different. when the syllable i, in, iang is coming singly, we simply add y before it and written like this. Ya, ye, yao, yen, yang, yong. We need to change e into y. And the last one, you, since is the most specific one and the only one, so just simply remember this form. We don't need to remember the change of it. U, when u come singly as u, we simply add the w before it. When wa, wo, wei, wen, wang, weng comes singly, we change u into w. So we write it like this. And the last one, most special one, wei and wen, we write it like this. Last one, yu, yu, yue, yuan, yun. The change of it is add y and remove the dot on its top. You can remember it as remove the dot, or you can remember it as change the yu into u. Both of it is okay because the change is only exist in written form. How it sounds like doesn't change. This alphabet originally sounds like yu, and after this change, yu, right? Because only written form change. It doesn't sound like you because here is u here. It's only changing written form, but not the sound system. Here's the summarize of this 韵母 beginning with i, u, and yu.
游泳、有益、音乐、原因、青蛙、影星、英雄、危险、国外、阴天、语言、往往、晚宴、爷爷、营养、我们。
Point number 5, syllable dividing mark. When a syllable beginning with a, or follows another syllable, the syllable dividing mark, this comma on the head, is used to separate the two syllables. For example, this syllable is called ao. It pronounced ao. And if we want to use it in a word, we need to put a syllable dividing mark between pi and ao. Then it becomes a word piao. But if we don't use this syllable dividing mark, it becomes this, which we can spell it together, and it becomes piao, piao. Yao is the single character, while piao is a word, means fur-lined jacket. So the syllable dividing mark is to tell us and the other what we are expressing here.
飘，皮袄，先，西安，饥，饥饿，将，激昂，发难，翻案，反感，方案。
That's all for the pinyin review of lesson 1 to lesson 5. The summarizing class also helps you evaluate your understanding of the basic pinyin. So if you are not 100% confident in what we reviewed in this class, you need to watch our recording of pinyin learning.